What's going on, you guys? So I originally wasn't planning on making a video on this new 21 Pilots song Heathens because one, I already have two friends who made a video about it and I didn't really know like what else I could add to the conversation, and I also feel like this is a little bit late considering it's been like a full day since it came out and everyone else was uploading like yesterday. But anyways, I've been getting so many requests and like questions on how I feel about it, so I said let's just fucking do it. So this song leaked yesterday on June 15th and I was actually not home at the time and I just kept seeing tweets from people like talking about a new 21 Pilots song. I was getting really anxious eating dinner because I was out at a restaurant and I could not listen to it yet. I had to wait till I got home. And I was like kind of getting desperate there because I kept hearing good things about it. I'm like, don't tell me, don't tell me. But once I did get home, I listened to this song. I instantly like started tearing up, to be honest with you. Like I enjoyed it so much right off the bat, mainly because of how different it sounds. Like I feel like they're so good at making stuff different. Like they never recreate the same song. I think they're always trying to like do something new and just create something that's very different in general, but also different from anything they've done in the past. So before I dive into the actual meaning of this song, I want to like kind of highlight on the instrumentals here and the different vocal manipulations that I've noticed. So right off the bat, I've heard a lot of people say that this doesn't even sound like Tyler. Like there were actually a few people that were like arguing that this wasn't even 21 Pilots at all. I think the reason that these people were a little bit confused is because underneath Tyler's talk singing, you can kind of hear this almost high-pitched like voice, the same exact like vocal track, but like higher pitched and a little bit off, like so you can just barely hear it, but it's there. I think I also noticed some different like whispering towards the beginning of the song that was underneath that, and then also throughout the song you can hear Blurry Face. He says watch it, like really deep, but it's like deeper than in the other songs. I feel like it just sounds more aggressive, but I love it. So I think the different vocal layers are like what really makes it interesting. The instrumentation here creates a very haunting sound to this song and I love it so much. There's hints of a piano in here alongside the drumming, and I really can't tell if they're using some sort of effect on Tyler's voice, especially around the part where he says you'll never know the psychopath sitting next to you. It's not auto-tune, but just like something on his voice sounds different, but I'm not sure if that's just the way it sounds with like all the other layered vocals of the high-pitched voice and the lower voice, so I'm not really sure what that is. So let's move on to what I actually think this song is about. I'll be honest, after my very first initial listen here, I thought this was about, you know, the shootings that just happened and all this violence that's going on, because he does talk about, you know, checking guns at the door, like, but it won't stop people. Like, I don't know, I think that is oddly like interesting and it fits like the current situation our country is in right now. But I know this was recorded like a while back, but it just kind of fit with that because that's like been on my mind lately because it all just happened, and that's kind of like how it was fitting to me. But as I started actually reading the lyrics a couple times, I can definitely see that there's several metaphors here. This is something that Tyler Joseph is incredibly good at. Like in his lyricism, he just uses so many metaphors and hidden meanings. So obviously the title of this song is Heathens, and a heathen is someone who isn't a part of like a specific religion, and that is a metaphor for, I believe, the clique, honestly, because this fan base is sort of in a way like a religion because it's so inclusive and so different. Like, you know, the few, the proud, and the emotional, not everyone really understands all of their music entirely. So I'm pretty sure Tyler is referring to the new fans as these heathens because obviously with the fame of Stressed Out being played on the radio all the time, people are starting to like look up this band and they claim to be fans of the band, and a lot of the older fans are kind of getting annoyed with these newer fans because they don't think they get it, you know, they're calling them fake fans, like, because they're just mainstream now. But I love that Tyler's actually addressing this issue because I've seen a lot of shit go down within this clique. Ever since they did get big, it has changed a lot. Like, it's kind of dividing the clique into hard and soft. Like, I don't even know what that fucking means. But I've personally even been attacked by members of the clique. You know, it's just changed so much. And I think all that hatred needs to stop. Like, stop shunning new fans. There's no such thing really as a fake fan. Like, everyone can enjoy the music. If you enjoy any of their music, that makes you a fan. So I'm gonna take a look at the lyrics in front of me just so I can kind of interpret this. So in the first verse, he says, welcome to the room of people who have rooms of people that they loved one day. So obviously the room of people is like the concert, you know, like where everyone is. And then he says, just because we check the guns at the door doesn't mean our brains will change from hand grenades. And this is where it gets really interesting. This kind of goes back to like Guns for Hands and what that song's about, how people have the ability to self-harm. He says like even though they don't have guns or have like weapons and it's not in plain sight, you know, you're checking these people, it doesn't mean that they don't have that ability. And it goes on to say, you'll never know the psychopath sitting next to you, you never know the murderer sitting next to you. He's kind of shining a light on the fact that more people feel feelings like that than you think. Like it doesn't, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. Like it's not just always in plain sight. You never know like what people's intentions are. So it's almost like he's saying don't trust anyone, but also like don't push people away because they might be just like you. So I don't know, there's like a lot of different meanings here that you could get from this. But the second verse really kind of proves that this is about like the fan base, because it says we don't deal with outsiders very well, and that we all have trust issues, kind of like we don't trust new fans that they actually like them. It's always kind of like a test, like before you could prove yourself as an actual fan of a band, and that's kind of ridiculous. And it says you'll never know the freak show sitting next to you. So I think this could also be like just in a normal situation in the real world, like people sitting next to you, you never know who also like has these feelings. Like you can't just judge people. But the very end of the song kind of completes this thought about like these new fans kind of trying to understand what this music is actually about, and once they do find meaning in these songs, it turns out that they're one of us. Like the very last line in the song says, it looks like you might be one of us. I think this is like a really good message for Tyler to the entire fan base, like the entire clique, you know, just like stop being so hateful towards everybody. Like people are allowed to like music, you know, be more inviting, because whether you like it or not, everyone has feelings of like whether it's depression or anxiety, everyone has at least a little bit of those feelings. And so it's not like you have to be special or fit a certain mold to understand the music. I mean, yes, not everyone is going to understand it right off the bat, but like don't turn people away because they don't get it right away. Because honestly, when I first listened to them like a couple years back, you know, I didn't get it either. Like you really got to analyze these lyrics and like take it in and figure out what it means to you. So I think that's what this song is about. I had so much to say about this song. I absolutely love it. It's definitely going to be like one of my favorites from now on, I think. Like I said, all the instrumentation, the vocal manipulations just make this so unique and really interesting to listen to. This song almost puts you under a trance. Like that's how haunting it is. I don't know if this is going to be on like a future album. My guess is that it's just like a song, you know, a single. They're probably going to release it as a single, but it is coming out on the new Suicide Squad compilation album, and that makes me very excited for the future of this band. So many doors have been opening for them, and it's just great to hear because they deserve it. They're very talented. Okay guys, I'm going to stop there. Why don't you leave a comment down below telling me what you think of the song overall. Let me know what you think of the instrumentation, the vocals, and of course what you think this song is actually about. So thank you all so much for watching this track review. Give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I'm also going to be linking the song down in the description below if you haven't heard it yet. Make sure you go give it a listen. Also, thank you so much for 11K. I hit 11K today. Like, what? So I do want to say, if you're new here and you haven't clicked that button yet, go ahead and click it, please. I'd really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you guys next time.